Fani Kayode divorce gets messier as accused pastor bears all, refutes allegations. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. The pastor who was accused by Precious Chikwendo, the estranged wife of Chief Femi Fani Kayode, as contributing to the trouble in their marriage, has refuted the allegations against him. Wow. Mind the kind of people you are allowing into your marriage. I keep saying it. Marriage is for two people. It's meant for two understanding humans. Two emotionally stable, matured, financially stable people with an open mind. Very, very important. These are the people that marriage is for. If you're someone who still listens to your parents and you still go and tell them or get approval on anything, sincerely, you're not ready. If you're someone who, for reasons best known to you, you have someone who you go and tell anything that happens to your marriage, I said there's something wrong. The only people now that is okay by law to share your problem with and for them to help you prefer a solution, and they're under oath not to even spill your information no matter how pressed they are, I tell you, they're marriage counselors. And it is your choice. It is your choice. Sincerely. Mind how you allow or who you allow into your home. This is a lesson to all couple. Now the news in detail. Reverend Emmanuel Olorunmagba said rather than bringing in women to replace her, as alleged, he denied being a party to the broken marriage, adding that he had been the one that always interceded on her behalf on several occasions. Reverend Olorunmagba explained that he had been busy with a program, hence the delay in responding to the allegations against him. However, in a detailed response to Chikwendo's allegations, the cleric wrote a response to Precious Chikwendo's false allegations by Reverend Emmanuel Olorunmagba. Precious Chikwendo claimed that I was responsible for most fights between her and Chief FFK and claimed I called her derogatory names, which are just lies and cheap way of getting sympathy from the general public, as her custom is. It is so unfortunate that she turned out to be an ingrate and chose to employ lies on me because I posted that those issues in circulation on social media are not good for her 4 sons to read in the future. And I have personally said same to Chief FFK, who, to the best of my knowledge, I have not seen him posting on an issue. Rather, it was his lawyer's response that I saw, and he has even said he will not say anything personally on her issue. But funny enough, some Nigerians do not used to care to hear the other side of issues before jumping to conclusions, especially if it has to do with a female accusing a pastor. Of course, the new trend now is that social media has become a tool of cheap blackmail against pastors. And social media has turned many people to journalists, even when they do not understand the ethics of journalism, that if a person is accused you, bloggers do not just post one side of a story, they reach out to the person and hear his own side of a story, so as to balance the report. Amusingly, some bloggers carry her lies, without anyone trying to contact me in any way to even hear my own side of a story. Note that I am not the one that will publicize the good I have done for someone, but just for the record, I have to respond to her childish and cheap lies, and will be forced to say just little out of many things. Precious Chikwendo, on more than 2 occasions, I have settled issues between you and Chief FFK. An example was the Anambra State incident where you angrily left the hotel room you were lodged with Chief at odd time, even hit the policeman that was begging you not to go to your father's house. But you left and still had the lawyer that was us then, and I had to plead for you with Chief. I will go down to your father's house with Chief to ensure reconciliation. Or was it that on the 28th of December 2019, I am mentioning this case because it is already on social media? When Chief called me and told me of how he caught you in the act of adultery in a hotel room with a naval officer and how he was done with you, and we released the video of you and the guy on social media. But I took the next available train for Kaduna to Abuja only because of that, and still pleaded with Chief not to make any post that would tarnish the email of his children's mother. he listened to my plea. But vow before me and others not to ever make love to you from that day on. And I was still preaching to him for forgiveness and reconciliation of you both. Even when others were shouting, "Send her away," to the extent that the staff and the house did not only celebrate that you would never return, they even went to house on the Rock Church to thank God that a person deducting their salaries and oppressing them has now been shown the way out. But as I returned to Kaduna, I still kept calling and talking on the need for forgiveness until Chief FFK brought you back to his house. On another occasion that you packed out of a house, among many occasions of packing out and packing in, I even called you on the phone and spoke with you after talking to Chief so that both of you can get back together for the sake of the kids who were entitled to both parents' love and presence. Even the night I received call that you carried knife and was jumping from one top chair to another chair, that the entire staff were scared. That Chief FFK said he had to call a female police DPO to come with female police officers, and it took several hours till late into the night before they could get the knife out of your hands, and you were taken for psychiatric attention the next morning. While others were expressing fear that what if it starts happening to you in the dead of the night while you were alone with Chief FFK and you stab him, I still prayed that God healed you. Now you're turning against me? You even lied to the extent that you once claimed that Chief FFK cannot perform on bed. Now turn to lie again that I anointed women that were brought on your bed? Ha, precious Chikwendu, I have never and will never introduce any single lady to another single man for marriage, not to talk of ever introducing women to a married man. God forbid. As for the prayers, not only have I and is praying for the chief, I have prayed for you as well, and do pray for anyone that I am close to, and will still continue praying for all the people I am close to, and no devil can stop that because I am called to bless. Before you went for your last surgery, Chief called me and I prayed for you, both during and after the surgery. I have always prayed for peace in the family and your children as well. You are in the know of all this, but you always take to social media to solicit for sympathy through lying. On the false and laughable allegations that I am living in Chief FFK's house, since you claim that my members don't see me in church, then give my church address to your followers and tell them to come to any Wednesday 5 p.m. during our midweek service or any of our 2 services on Sunday at 7 a.m. and 8:45 a.m. respectively. Then, if they do not see me, I am in the country, they can conclude on that. I will not say more than this. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.